Hey everybody, he's Tony George. I'm Scott Spreitzer, DocSports.com. It is the divisional round in the NFL postseason, and we're going to talk about the battle between the Vikings and the Niners on Saturday's card. I'll get to that in just a moment. Hey, great offer going on right now over at DocSports.com. Any capper on the roster, you can get this week's NFL package half off. No promo code necessary. It's half off. As simple as that. All you got to do is go over to DocSports.com and jump on board with the capper of your choice, or use it on as many cappers as you please. Let's get to it, Tony. It's the Vikings and the Niners, where the Niners are, for the most part, laying 7, total 45. How about this? Minnesota was 60-1 before the wild card round. They're down to 16-1 right now as we speak. So obviously the value gone from that futures pick on the Vikings. Here's a real good test for you if you want to know if you're a better or not. If you like the Vikings in this game, there are plenty of 7s. Shop around. Don't take anything less. If you like the Niners in this game, shop around, because you can find 6.5s. Don't lay any more than 6.5. I'll tell you what, right now, 60% of the tickets, Tony, 53% of the money are on those San Francisco 49ers minus the points.
Yeah, and the total 45.5 here. 46 points last week in New Orleans. And Kirk Cousins, I guess the monkey's off his back, Scott.
Sure.
Showed up, Drew Brees, and I overvalued the New Orleans Saints, and I undervalued Minnesota last week in that game. Even on the teaser, the defensive line of the Vikings was extremely impressive last week against a very, very high-octane offense, and, of course, Drew Brees at quarterback here. They're going to find an easier quarterback, I think, to defend in the passing game this week, but yet, if you take a look on the other side of the ball, Scott, the defensive line of San Francisco is one of the strengths of their team here. And I'm just wondering, this total here at 44.5 right now, I'm thinking this may be a lot more of a defensive battle than a lot of people think here.
Well, I'll tell you what, I guess let's do an opposite here, because I'm going to actually give out the over on this particular game. Here's a couple of reasons why. First of all, am I going to be shocked if the under comes in? Of course not. It's playoff time. But here's the deal with these two teams. When you look at San Francisco, a big key to this game is how healthy, if he can play at all, will be Dee Ford up front on the defensive line for the San Francisco 49ers. Little banged up. He's questionable. He's got the hamstring issues. Sometimes those just don't heal in time. You go out there, you play 75% or 80% of your normal health. But here's the thing about San Francisco. First half of the season, that defense was phenomenal. Second half of the season, they've given up 20 or more points, 8 of the last 9 games. In weeks 14 through 16, those 3 weeks, they gave up an average of 35 points per game. I think you're going to see some points in this one. Obviously, we're doing this midweek, so check on the weather. It's not going to be nasty cold like it would be in the northern plains playing out in Northern California. But just make sure that there's no wind involved if you're going to play the over. If there's a lot of wind, then obviously you want to stay away from that, play the under, or skip the game. But I think it's a situation where San Francisco, which is good against the pass, has had their issues against the run. And if Kirk Cousins can play fake and play action off a running game, I think you're going to see a few more points.
Well, there you go. My biggest thing here is an unproven quarterback in the postseason against a very, very good defensive line. I think you're going to see a lot of cooks. I think you're going to see a lot of the running game from San Francisco to take the heat off of Garoppolo, which eats a lot of clock, and that was kind of why I was leaning the under. And since I lost a bet to you earlier this year, and I still owe you a steak and a beer at Bob Taylor's, you could take the over. I'll lean towards the under here a little bit.
Hey, that sounds good. I tell you what, if you win and we even up the bet, we'll put the dinner on Wade over at DocSports.com.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, that's going to do it for us from Minnesota, San Francisco. Check out Sunday's clash between Houston and Kansas City, and of course the Monday Night College Football Championship. He's Tony. I'm Scott. Put him in the win column.